You're probably at home right now, thinking if you should buy this 3050 or not. And well, in today's video, I'm gonna benchmark a few games. Now, if you want full dedicated videos on this, please check out my channel because I have a lot of videos on the 3050. Now, honestly, whether or not the 3050 is gonna be a good buy on you is how much money is in your budget. Brand new, this card can go for around 200, and usually you can get up to deals to $40 to $80, which is pretty good for price to performance. Now, the 3050 is equivalent to like a 1060 or something like that. We're going to be talking about that more in today's video, but you have to understand what the 3050 actually means and what's different about it. Well, number one, it doesn't need any external power, which is amazing. And 3050 basically means it's a decent entry-level 1080p card. So your monitor can run at 1080p and get around 60 FPS in modern titles. That's not guaranteed. It also depends on your settings and if you use DLSS or not. Well, what is DLSS? DLSS basically, it's kind of like frame generation. You kind of lower your game quality, and well, some games you won't really notice it and some games you will. So yeah, this card doesn't support frame gen, but you can get it from AMD's frame generation, which is still alright. It's not amazing, but it does the job. So is the card going to be enough for you? Well, we're going to hop into some benchmarks here in just a minute. Please bear with me. But if you're just doing some casual 1080p gaming and you don't really care about the graphics quality in some games, then this card's going to be fine. Now, what type of games can this 3050 actually handle? It can handle a few games. So the games that I've tested is Teardown, which runs perfectly fine on it. Body Cam, you're going to expect around 40 to 60 FPS. And a few other games, I've tested a lot of games. And honestly, every single game that I've tested has ran perfectly fine. No, this is my Steam library. I have a lot of games here. Every single game that you see in my Steam library runs perfectly fine on this card. And if you have this in your Steam library, don't worry, the card will handle it perfectly fine. Some of these games it can handle on max settings, which is crazy. It can handle every single one of these games fine. You may have to utilize DLSS in some scenarios, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal for the 3050. So what are the downsides of the 3050? Well, it's limited to 1080p. If you try to use bigger resolutions like 1440p or 4K, the card honestly will not be able to handle it. Maybe if you're playing like Roblox or something, the 3050 will handle that perfectly fine. In fact, that's the game I've got the highest FPS in. 1000 FPS in Roblox on just a base plate with no other players in the game, which is pretty insane. So if you're into competitive gaming on Roblox, go ahead, this card's perfect. Now, if you don't have a Nvidia card yet, you're going to have to get something called the Nvidia app to get your drivers. And that itself is pretty easy. All you got to do is click more and learn more, and then go to these drivers tab. And all you got to do is click download, and it will teach you what to do. It's super easy to get drivers on this card, and honestly, these are the best drivers that you can get. There's no others. So yeah. And sometimes they actually give you some free stuff if you own a 3050 card, or a similar Nvidia card. And if you ever wanted to squeeze that last little bit of performance out of your card, you can go over here to the performance tab and unclock it. You can overclock it, undervolt it. You can do a lot in here. It is limited to 100, which I have that maximum at. So yeah, just be careful because you can actually mess up your card if you use something like MSI Afterburner. And you also get a lot of useful PC specs. And another thing is, if you go here to the settings, you can turn on Nvidia overlay and click Windows G or Alt Z, whatever you have it combined to. And you get this little cool thing here, and you also get the Nvidia overlay right there. It's a super easy tool to benchmark your FPS and see a lot of useful other things. You can add a lot more to that Nvidia thing down there, and it's honestly very, very useful. Now, I'm sorry that I lied, but we're not going to be doing gaming in this video. If you want to see dedicated gaming videos of this card, you can click on my channel and watch a ton of videos. That way I can benchmark the FPS way better for you guys, and I don't have to rush it. Okay, so if you want to see games like BeamNG, Forza 5, Teardown, Roblox, I mean, there's so many others. And there's a lot of free games, don't worry, I got you guys. Go check out my channel, there are so many videos. What type of games can the 3050 not handle? Well, honestly, there's not a lot that the 3050 can't handle at 1080p. And if you're willing to lower those settings, then you can achieve competitive FPS in titles like Warzone. Actually, I even played Warzone on this card, and it ran perfectly fine. So you don't need to worry about that. If you're a competitive Warzone player, you'll get well over 90 FPS. Now, some of the games that I actually recommend you play on this card if you've never played them yet is BeamNG. It's one of my favorite games and has huge mod support, and it's not that expensive. I think it's around $40. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and another thing about the 3050 is you really do not want the 3-fan design. You want to try to aim for that 2-fan design because it's cheaper and it gets the job done for the 3050, because the 3050 doesn't really heat up that much. It actually stays relatively cool depending on the system that you have it in and what kind of stress levels you're keeping it at. And for the people at home that want to know what this card is actually equivalent to, the desktop RTX 3050 is equivalent to a 1660 Super, a GTX 6060 Ti, an AMD RX 5050 5500 XT / RX 5600 XT. So yeah, if you ever wanted to know that, then now you know. And honestly, if you're just an average user and you didn't know that, then you would say all those cards are GOATs at gaming. And a lot of people hate on the 3050 because of its price to performance. But if you can find those good deals like we said at the beginning of the video, then you don't need to worry about price to performance. Now, for my content creators, what I recommend you do is if you click the thing on that I said earlier, you get something called the Nvidia overlay. It uses something called NVEC. When you record with NVEC, it puts all the stress on your GPU, and if it's too much stress for the GPU, then it splits it between the CPU and the GPU, so it uses way less resources. And honestly, if you're recording and you have enough GPU headrest, then you're going to be getting a lot more FPS than if you record with something like OBS at 1080p 60 FPS. And this even has some settings where you can tweak it to record at 120, 4K, 4K 120, and it just goes on forever. The list is crazy how much they support. And that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe because it means a lot to me and it helps me post more videos and reach more people. Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, if you're buying this card, go check out those gaming videos. I think you'll really like them.